with hunting license exemption for disabled armed forces members.
I do, Mr. Vice Chair. Thank you very much, members of the committee. If I could have the panel come up while I'm speaking, sure. Is that okay? Why don't you guys stand by? Members of the committee, this bill came to my attention. My brother's here with some friends of his. We occasionally have hunting trips on our farm, not for profit, but to help.
Senator, we know who you are, but just start out by saying who you are. So do the rest of you guys when you start out. We keep it for our record.
Well, Alan Kittleman, Senator for District 9. If they want to introduce themselves now, they can do that.
Mark Hope, Avery Outdoors, St. Paul's.
Alan's twin brother, Cody Kittleman.
Robert Bartlett, wounded veteran.
Robert Tharp, future President of the United States of America.
Anyway,
what a crowd.
Well, Mr. Vice Chair, the reason this bill came in is because we found out after my brother and Mark were putting together these hunting trips to help individuals who had been injured in Iraq and Afghanistan to try to have them come out to our farm and do some deer hunting and goose hunting and whatever else, dove hunting. They found out that they had difficulty getting a hunting license for them. And we already have an exemption in Maryland for veterans who are residents who have a service-connected disability to get an exemption for a hunting license. But we don't for an active duty member. And many of the gentlemen who come out to our farm, or the ladies who come out to our farm, are actually from Walter Reed Hospital. And they come, they're from all around the country, they're there getting treatment, and this allows them to get a chance to get outside the hospital, come out and do some hunting, things that they thought they might not ever be able to do, and now they can still do. And so this bill, if you find favorably, if it passes the legislature, would allow the DNR to waive their requirement to pay for a hunting license, because generally they just come out for 1 or 2 days a year at the very most. And I think it's a good bill. I think it helps those who have really helped us and have sacrificed a great deal for our country. So I'd be happy to answer any questions, or I could just turn it over to the panel.
Why don't you turn it over?
Okay.
Maybe we'll start out with your twin.
Gotcha. We started out with the Robert H. Kittle Memorial Hunts, and we're in conjunction with the Paralyzed Veterans of America. And the problem is, the way the laws are now, if they want to come out and hunt for a day, they need to take the hunter safety course, and they're from non-residents, and they're in rehab. Their schedules are pretty rigorous. They're going through all types of rehabilitation practices every day, and to try to find the time to get them to take the course and to get the license is very hard. And all we do is take them for 1 day, and all their doctors and people like that are all for the days out hunting. They all have to get cleared and everything else, and it's very good for their soul and for their morale. And frankly, I don't think any of us sitting in this room would be here if it wasn't for them. And they have really given up a lot of themselves, to do it. So we just feel like it's something that we can certainly do for them.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is something, we started 4 or 5 years ago, just taking 1 or 2 vets out, disabled vets. We never thought it was going to get to this level, but we find out that when these guys go back to Walter Reed Hospital, or if they go back to another military base, they wait for the next year that they get able to come out again and hunt. So it has grown and grown and grown. And it's just the therapy alone, that what we hear from the different men and women that serve our country, this is what they need. This is something they truly need. So, like I say, freedom is never free, but we wish you'd pass this so it would be for them for hunting.
As a wounded vet, I was one of the first ones to go on one of these events. I did not get a deer my first time, but I still had a great time. You're sitting in a tree stand and you're talking about what happened to you, and just getting things off your chest and getting back to nature and what God provided for you. And that kind of gives us a basis, maybe not, so not to go to the bar maybe and bury some of our issues that we have to deal with behind the bottle, but maybe bury it in the woods, hunting and fishing with some friends. And things like this in the community has given us a lot of formats for that, whether it's fly fishing or regular fishing or hunting. And just some of the issues. I mean, we have the way it's written, the law is written now. We get training for many months to go hunt the enemy, and we have to know direction of fire and do all kinds of amazing things with the weapons that are provided to us. We come back to the United States and the restrictions are put on us, and we have more training than any civilian out there on how to use a weapon or how it should be handled and what it can actually do, because we deal with them every day. That was our lives. And just the way the law's written now, it just kind of puts restrictions on us. And like Cody mentioned earlier, just a time constraint. All of us have therapy. I was at Walter Reed for 4 years, 40-something surgeries, a lot of therapy. And this will free up a little bit more time and actually cut away some of the bureaucracy of just the red tape that's getting in the way through the DNR. Right now, we for Project Healing Waters, we have to get a waiver, but we have to put it in 2 weeks in advance and submit the names that a certain number of veterans are going on it. These are the names. These are the veterans going on a trip fishing somewhere, and somewhere in the state of Maryland. And then they say, okay, you get a waiver. Well, what if that veteran falls out because he has an infection now and some injury that he has, and we have to put in a new replacement? Then we've got to submit it all over again. It's just a tedious process, and then less people can go because we can't submit it in time. So it actually takes away from the veterans, not even veterans. I mean, these are active duty reservists and guardsmen in the state of Maryland and Pennsylvania. And
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you all for having us. And I'm not a veteran, but I feel that the reason I get to do what I do and you get to do what you do is because these guys do what they do. And you're very relaxed when you're sitting in your yard, you're very this and very that. You know, you don't think about, or we don't think about it, what sacrifices they're making, and I think it would be a great bill to pass. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Anybody in the committee have any questions of our witnesses? Senator Harris.
Yeah, just a quick comment. No, thanks for bringing this, Senator Kittleman, to the attention of the committee. You know, when we passed the last major gun bill in, I think, 2001, we actually exempted, for that purpose, with my floor mat, exempting veterans from the requirement to do the approved gun safety course for that very reason, that in fact, you've already got the training. So this is just a logical extension of that, so thanks for bringing that bill. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anybody else? It seems not. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your service to our
Appreciate
country.
it. Best thing I ever did.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We are now going to close out the hearing on this bill.